Hey ho, it's Christmas everybody, and it's time for enjoyment and cozy little drawing and decorating the houses. But what shall we draw? Doodle. Do you know Doodle? Well, let me introduce you to him. We start by drawing a few circles on top of each other. The first one right here, and then a slightly smaller one on top, and a really quite big one at the top. Now that's not Doodle, that's Doodle's friend, a snowman. At the left of him, we have Doodle himself. And at the right, we have their friend, Winter Girl. Doodle's got a small body and a big head, and he's wearing shorts. On his head, he's wearing a knitted hat to protect his bald head from the snow. Yeah, a nice knitted hat, a Norwegian design classic. Oh yeah, it's nice and cold outside, and it's nice and warm in here. We continue with the face. First, a tiny little nose. We put the nose quite low down, so we get a nice big forehead and a small chin, a nice friendly smile, and a couple of dots for the eyes. Then the ears. Now the arms. Notice the shape of the arms, quite thick at the base and quite pointy at the other end. And the hands, they're two little squiggles. And Doodle's pencil, of course. He never leaves home without it. A little fold at the end of his shorts, thick boots. And we continue with the Winter Girl. She's got a big head and a small body too. And notice the simple shape of her coat. The secret to drawing like this is to keep everything in simple shapes. She needs a knitted hat too, but it's slightly different from Doodle's. First one shape, and another one on top. Her face is actually identical to Doodle's. They could be twins. But when I add the hair and her pigtails, she'll look different. Next, the arms, hands, and her scarf, wrapped nicely around her neck. And some buttons down her coat. And what is she holding on to with her hand? How about a snowball? How appropriate! And a cute little spade to shuffle the snow with. And now it's the snowman's turn. Smack in the middle of his head, we'll put the carrot. Yes, the nose. Quite big eyes on each side and a mouth right under the nose. First it turns a bit downwards, then up on each side, forming a really nice and friendly smile. Couple of cute teeth, scarf, and arms made of snow, not sticks this time, with mittens on. And a broomstick. Buttons down the middle, and of course a hat right on top. How about a small round one? Nah, maybe a bit small. How about the top hat? Oh, nice. With a little flower on top. And when you're working hard, it's really important with a little cookie break. Okay, time to ink in the lines. Now I'm using a soft rubber-tipped marker that can produce thin lines and thick lines. So I'm using thick lines for big shapes such as the head, or thin lines for small shapes such as the flower. You can of course use any type of marker. It's all up to you. As you're inking in the lines, you can choose which lines you want to keep and which lines you want to erase. Like now, for instance, I could have kept the line for the whole circle, but I am stopping by the arm, so that there's no line between the arm and the body itself. Always ink the shape that is closest to you first. Like the broomstick. The broomstick is closer to us, so we ink that first, and then we fill in the mitten in the back. Some black buttons, and then we start on Doodle. Doodle's nose to be precise. When we're inking, we can also add little details that we didn't pencil in the first place. It's all up to us how many little details we want to put in. Here, for instance, I want to put in little dots and lines to create some sort of a knitted hat texture. And we can add some patterns on his sweater and the dots and lines again. The legs are in shadow under the shorts, so I'll fill it in with black right away. And then the same treatment for the winter girl. Notice that when I ink the furry line around her knitted hat, I do a wobbly line to create a sort of a soft shape. Then before coloring, we need to erase the pencil marks and brush away the dust from the eraser. We start with bright orange, coloring up the carrot. And while we have the pencil in our hand, let's color up the scarf as well. Orange stripes. Yeah, that'll be nice. And orange mittens. Now everything is matching perfectly. Black top hat with a stripe of highlight down the middle. And a purple ring around the eyes. Then the eyes appear to be brighter and pop out nicely. Next, a bit of shadow under the mouth, under the teeth, and the carrot nose. Now you can tell that the teeth are popping out nicely. And have about a shadow under the rim of the hat, and a bit under the scarf. Yellow flower is in nice contrast to the black hat. And then a brown wooden broomstick, and a bit stronger brown for the broom itself. Next we move on to Doodle's knitted hat. Bright red, Christmas red. The face, and the hands, and a little shadow from the fur around the hat. It's all those little shadows that makes the drawing look three-dimensional at the end. So make sure you put them on. And rosy cheeks. Oh yeah, that looks cozy. Orange pencil. Yeah, then it's matching the carrot. The sweater carries two different shades of brown, and the shorts is dark brown. Brown boots as well, and then we can start on the winter girl. She's all pink. Whoa, Goldilocks. Her face with rosy cheeks as well. Of course. And a stripy purple scarf before we move on to a bit of shadow on her hair. And the shadow under the head and the scarf as well. Okay, time to sign the drawing. Make sure you always sign so that everybody knows who made the drawing. And this drawing we can use to decorate around the house. I got so many ideas, but here is one of my favorites. Make a winter landscape from an ordinary cornflakes box. Come on, I'm going to show you how. Here I have printed out a smaller copy of the original drawing because I don't want to ruin the original. Let's put it safely over here. While as the copy I can use for cutting. And here I have cut out all the pieces plus a few extra that I drew. Inside the box I have painted a nice sky blue and white on the outside. Then I have cut a few parts from cardboard. They will be the landscape inside. I cut them out of ordinary brown cardboard and painted them white on the other side. In addition, I put a bit of extra cardboard at the back to bring it out from the background. I'll show you in a second. So we'll start with this one first. It goes in the very back. We just put a little bit of glue on that extra bit of cardboard and then glue it to the back. Push it on firmly. And now notice that we're getting a little shadow behind it to sort of lift it out from the background a bit. Then we do the next layer, which is in the middle of the box. A bit of glue on the edges, not too much, just a bit at the bottom and the sides of the shape. Okay, so we'll position it in the middle and at the bottom of the box. Same thing with the last layer. Put a bit of glue and stick it in right in front of the last layer. So now we have divided the box into 3 depths: the back, the middle, and the front. And now this needs to dry a bit before we put in the cartoons. Now it's dry, but before we add the cartoons, I want to show you a little special effect. Are you ready? Then I will need something round, like a roll of tape. I put it in the left corner of the box and use it to draw a nice ring, which will become a moon. Then we'll cut it out, pop it out, and find a nice little piece of paper that is a bit thin so that the light can shine through. We turn the box over and stick it onto the back. Add a bit of glue around the hole, stick on the paper, and then we bring out something pointy that we can make little holes with. Make sure you put a bit of cardboard underneath so that you don't punch holes in the table. And then we make stars. Anywhere you like. There, last one. And now we'll put in the cartoons. We'll start with a little Christmas tree at the very back. A bit further up. Yeah, there. Oh, that's beautiful. Another one on top. And then we bring out the red barn. At the back of the middle layer. And the main house. And our snowman, of course. A bit of glue in front. And a bit behind the broom. Because I've actually separated them with a little cut. So that the broom goes in front. And the rest goes at the back. Then Doodle and the Winter Girl. And finally, a humongous reindeer running down the hill at the back. And then for some special light and magic on our landscape, hey, presto, the table lamp. Place the table lamp behind your landscape to light up the moon and the stars. Wow! Thank you so much for watching. I'm making new art for you every week, so please subscribe so that you don't miss my next idea.